Hello, hello, it's me, Janette. How are you? Hope you've been well. In today's video, I'm doing a journaling layout. So I have this traveler's notebook insert. I believe it is from Chelsea Paper Co., which I will have linked for you below. She's got some great inserts, and I bought these at a planner meetup. And I haven't used it, and it's for my traveler's notebook, which I'm sure you've seen in previous videos. I will have a link for you below where I do a flip through of my traveler's notebook. And so there it is. So I will have the video of the flip through linked below. So I wanted to do like not a Valentine's Day journal or Valentine's journal or anything like that, but just kind of doing a little bit of more journaling in the month of February. And of course, a lot of it is going to be very heavily Valentine's Day themed, but that's okay. I really honestly love journaling so much, just because not so much like the writing down my thoughts thing, but I just love collages and gluing random bits on a page. And I don't know, there's just something really therapeutic about it. So I don't know if you're into journaling, maybe you're only into snail mail, or maybe you do card making. It's just, I do recommend that you try just keeping a journal, and it doesn't have to be anything elaborate or intimidating, but just as you're going to see, this layout here is really simple. I just glued down some pieces of like pattern cardstock for the back, because this journal has like a grid graph kind of print on it, which I love, but I also wanted to soften that a little bit with some color, and so I'm just using these bits of paper. Now these beautiful pieces of pattern paper were sent to me by Mary Cheng, and I believe she lives in Australia. And Mary, I'm appalled. I just found my thank you card that I meant to send you. I found it in my planner at work. It was like in one of the pages. I just tucked it in there. And anyway, I'm so sorry, Mary. I will be sending you that thank you card for the beautiful cardstock that you sent me, which is from Daphne's Diary. And yes, Mary, so sorry. Hopefully you're watching this video. Please accept my apologies. That thank you card is on its way. Now I'm just pulling things from my stash. A lot of these are leftover bits from my last video, my Valentine's Day pocket letter part 1 video, and so I just wanted to use up that stuff. I didn't even put it away. I just left it on the side because I knew I wanted to do a little bit of journaling, and so I'm just using up those scraps and bits. Now I have these felt leaf die cuts, and I don't end up using them. I do end up using them in a journaling layout later on, which you will see in a video really soon. But if you have a die cutting machine and you've only been die cutting paper, try cutting out different materials. Even if you just have wafer thin dies, you can still cut felt, like wool felt, from your wafer thin dies, as well as tulle. And just and vellum, of course, which I always recommend, but just try it out. It's just a really fun way to add texture to your layouts. You might be able to cut like one layer of fabric as well with wafer thin dies. Obviously, if you have steel roll dies like Sizzix Bigs dies, then you'll be able to cut thicker materials like leather and thick cardboard and mat board and foam and all sorts. So that's the advantage of having, steel roll dies. But give it a try with your wafer thin dies. You'd be surprised what you can die cut, and just run it through a few times. You should be a-okay. And I apologize now, my hair is going to be in and out of the frame because I cropped on the floor and I was tired of sitting, and so I decided to lay down on my stomach, and so my hair is popping in and out of the frame. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm getting ready to glue everything down, and if you notice, I have a little collage cluster on the upper left, like the right page on the upper left of the page, and also on the bottom right corner. And then this gives me plenty of space to go back and add photos, or to add some text, some journaling, some actual journaling. I end up doing a little bit of memory documenting for a stressful day that I was just having. I'm sure a lot of us deal with anxiety and anxious thoughts, so at the end of the video I just journal a little bit about that. that and some like coping techniques that have been really helpful for me. And so yeah, just preparing to glue everything down. And for my glue today, I'm just using a normal glue stick. Now, when gluing down collage clusters, sometimes I either, sometimes I take a picture if everything is like just perfect and I don't want it to budge. So I take a picture of my layout and then remove all the layers and glue them down just like the photo, just so I feel like sometimes when I remove my layers to glue them down, I end up losing like the original layout. I don't know if that happens to you, but something that I love to do is to just pick up the whole little collage, like my whole little collage cluster, my little paper cluster, and then use my tiny attacher to staple all but the top layer. And then this keeps everything like exactly where I had put it and layered it. And then on the top, I'll add the last layer with some adhesive. So it's really helpful. I really love the Tim Holtz tiny attacher because it has those itty bitty staples. So it's really good for like attaching things to your page with tiny little staples like in your planners and in your journals, but also to I know it's really helpful for layering and keeping your layers intact when you have lots of layers to glue down. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I highly encourage you to try journaling. Maybe you don't want to document your days. Maybe you struggle to write or to find the words to express yourself, and something that you can do in case you do want to do some kind of like creative journaling, but also include some like actual journaling, like memory documenting and whatnot. You can either like document your photos, so like add photos to your layouts, but you can also just do lists, like your top 5 happy moments, like 5 highlights of your day, or maybe 5 lowlights. Maybe you're having a bad day and you want to write those down and vent them out. So that's also a good alternative in case you don't want to write too many things in there. Also, another thing that I did maybe once or twice in other layouts was I don't like my writing, so I always feel like it ruins my layout once I do start writing. And what I've done before is I will type things out. So I'll type out just like a little paragraph of my day or whatever, and then print that out, trim it, and then glue it into my layout. So it's still journaling, but I've just typed it out because I think my writing's all right, but when you add it to a layout that, you know, like a really pretty layout that I was really happy with, and then I add my writing to it, it just like, oh no, just kind of ruins it. But I'm sure lots of people feel that way about their own handwriting. I don't know, are you happy with your handwriting? Do you love it? Do you hate it? It's just one of those things. Journaling is also a great way to use up any scraps that you have in your stash that you don't quite know what to do with. Maybe they're on the smaller side. Also, if you have pen pals and you receive goodies from them regularly, like die cuts and ephemera, and you also don't really know, like, of course you want to save them because they were given to you, but you don't know how to use them effectively. So you could create a pen pal journal and just include, you know, all the little bits on a layout that were sent to you, and you can write a little note that says, oh, these were sent to me by my pen pal Catherine on, you know, February of 2019, and then you can even include like their handwritten note in there and kind of have like a pen pal journal. So really a journal can be anything that you want it to be. You can completely skip out on writing anything and just do a collage, you know. That's always really fun too. That's one of my favorite things, when I just collage and I don't write anything in my layout. That also makes me really happy, and I have one of those videos coming soon. Just I really absolutely love collaging. It's like one of my favorite things. Like I'm in the, like, not the zone, what is it? It's like my zen place to just collage and pack a page with lots of little bits. And I'm done with my layout, and now I'm going to do a little bit of journaling. So I have lapsed the time on that super fast little journaling here. I wish this was real-time journaling and I could journal this fast. That would be amazing. I would probably do more of it. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and if you want to follow along with any of my crafty projects, then you can subscribe to this channel or also follow my Instagram account, which is Janette Lane Blog. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in a video real soon. Bye!